Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Chapter Master. And I'm just, believe it or not, taking a break from the Lamenters because it's hurting my brain. And I actually came to do two things. One, to ask if anyone knows where I can access the console commands so I can get access to unlimited requisition, because I would like to do that for some more tests. And the other test I want to do is I was just going to test to see what the limitation on plasma weapons was. And I'm going to say that the game auto's giving me nothing of what I ordered. It's interesting how much of you can get away with but simultaneously cannot. Like, it won't give you... Like, I equipped everyone with a plasma gun or plasma pistol for this, and they gave me none of it except for officers. Anyone basically... Yeah, officers or anyone with 100 XP, which is fascinating. But yeah, I was going to do a couple more tests because I want to just run a few tests in this game to test some of the advantages and disadvantages and limitations of weaponry. And I'd actually like to test and see how powerful a fully armoured chapter with plasma weapons would be. But of course, to do that, I'll either need to grind for the 500... Well, actually, we could add this up realistically. 90 times 100, 9 times 10 is 90, so 900, 900 for 10, 9,000, you need to do it for 1,000 Marines, so really 90 times 1,000, yeah, 90,000 requisition basically, to outfit the entire chapter with plasma weapons, and to do that for some of my tests to see how powerful plasma weapons are. See if I can, you know, get trade enough to get hell rifles and heavy flamers and see how good some of these more advanced weapons are. I need the requisition to do it. And to get the requisition to do it, I need access to the commands to give me basically unlimited requisition. So if any one of you in the audience who does this, because I know many of you in the comments do, could you let me know how you do it? Because I've never had an interest in doing it myself, because I always like to play fair, but for the sake of having a look at some of these challenges and seeing how powerful certain weaponry actually is, it would be nice to actually be able to afford it, which is good. Also, Atlanta too, I've been there. So it was actually a fun time when I went to Atlanta. So yeah, that was my first test to see if I could outfit the entire chapter with plasma weaponry within the chapter creation screen, which I cannot. So the other test I'm going to do is to see how well only melee will be. So no ranged weapons allowed. So we'll cut back with an edit and see how well that goes. Alright, back again. Let's run another test. Yes! Dual chain axes. On top of the color scheme. Even for the Devastators. Oh, it gave them Storm Bolters. It gave the Terminators dual power swords. Oh, that... Okay, first off, re-equip Storm Bolters with nothing. That's better. I'm also slightly disappointed because I asked them to have Twin Lightning Claws and they don't. Like, captains have Twin Lightning Claws, but these guys don't. That's disappointing. Also, why not go full Melius Kelgar on these guys, right? And re-equip these guys with dual power fists. Alright, we're gonna walk these guys into close combat, and then we're gonna see basically how well this does. Wait, why don't you have dual power fist equip? There we go, twin power fists, awesome. Captain, Thunderhammer and Storm Shield, nice. Twin power swords. Oh, twin force weapons. Oh, gave some of these guys bolters. That's disappointing. Let's get rid of those. Replace those with chain swords. dual chain swords. Brilliant. Even the scouts are packing chain axes and chain swords. That's actually a funny thing of the game. It's crazy. Believe it or not, this was to see if I could. Right, we're taking no vehicles, and then we're going to walk into close combat. Right, the other test I want to do after this is just to mess about and have a look at entirely ranged focus. But for now, find the nearest concentration of enemies, please, and let us kill them. Oh, Velden. That has some Tyranids. This should be fascinating to fight. Right, now ideally I'd probably be targeting the Orc Worlds, but this is a throwaway playthrough just to test the abilities of the chapter. So, let's see. Ooh, quite right. Raid. Formations. Let's push them back a bit. Just so everyone can have a life. Extreme, heavy. Right, we're not going to take on Extreme because even a fully blown chapter, taking on Extreme Tyranids is retarded. So instead we're just going to take on Heavy, because I would like to see how well they do. It's not bad. 480 chain axes. We need to take on bloody Orcs, because that will be more of a challenge. But for now, we shall see. Yeah, the Dreadnoughts again are getting a bit of the kills on that one. Conversion beam projector. Who's got ranged weapons in this thing? I specifically said the bloody Forge Master has conversion beam weapon. Everyone else has got melee weapons like a man. Right, let's go fight some Orcs. Because could this be a legitimate strategy? Start with moderate. If we... No one's wounded, but we'll exclude them. If we can slaughter moderate, then we can see if we can slaughter heavy. Again, the Dreadnoughts doing a bit of a good show. Right. Let's fight heavy. Now, raiding is the way to go, because doing an attack when you're basically just entirely melee focused is stupid. So, I'm just curious to see how well this does. See, that's a bit more of a fight. Lost a few Marines, in the sense that they've been wounded but not killed. However, all of the chain axes and the abilities have actually ripped quite a few apart. So let's run another test just to have a look, shall we? Right, we can't really exclude Dreadnoughts, can we? Oh well, that's not too bad. We'll see. That's interesting indeed. That's actually not potent, not unpotent at all. Very novelty-ish, but it's not bad. Especially for raids. It is, because we're putting the Dreadnoughts alongside the Assault Marines, there is a bit of a... well, not too many casualties at all, actually. Alright, now, it's not ideal, and I don't recommend even against... oh, sparse. Maybe we'll just use the barge, so first and second companies, just to have a look. I should have unequipped that conversion beam projector, because it's spoiling the fun. Right, Dreadnoughts. Yeah, the Dreadnoughts seem to, like most things, take most of the brunt of that. Although, the legit question is, they're doing 142 melee attack, and each power sword is 120 melee damage. But I don't know if it counts both blades for an individual attack, or if it's just, or if it combines their damage together, or if it only takes one weapon for melee attack. That's the thing. I don't know enough about the in-depth grittiness of the mechanics to actually understand that if the dual melee weapons approach is working, or if it's just because they have decent melee weapons. But now, these Dreadnoughts. See, they're doing 200 damage melee splash armor piercing. And they're doing 185 melee damage. So it's kind of hard to judge if... We will move on to ranged in a moment, but I would like to move on to attacking another orc world, because I'd like to see... I don't care. I'd like to see if how an attack would actually bear witness to this. Of course the orcs will get killed. Disappointing. Where are those Tau? Why don't we go mess about and go attack those Tau? Because I don't usually get too many Tau in my playthroughs. Thankfully I like to avoid the Tau when possible. And we're not going to. Right, sorry, I know this breaks the flow a little bit of my test, but I'd just like to see... I like to sort of take my time and have a look at these sort of things. So how are you doing, audience? Hope your day is going well. Apologise for the lack of content. I will be honest, it's kind of one of those things of I need to grab more time and I just haven't had much left at the moment sort of thing. Right, I really want to do more things with my last gun and actually do a few more bits and pieces and skits like those ones, because they were great fun. I have another story I need to get written, or I've written and narrated it, I just need to edit it, and that is due this week. Now, let's see how well... Ooh, those Tau hurt quite badly. Bloody Xenos bias. Burst rifles. Where are the attacks coming from? Behind us. So it seems like it's not super effective on Tau. Interesting, interesting. Although, of course, everyone knows that the most efficient way to get rid of Tau is just to bomb them into dust. That's how you kill the Tau. And then you just purge the remaining survivors. If you want to get rid of Tau, you bomb them into dust. Anyway, so, right, that was that test done. So, seems moderately effective just to do entirely melee, but it's hard to tell if that's actually within the limitations of the game or if I'm just imagining it. So we're going to cut and see how well an all-ranged chapter does. Right, time for ranged. And... oh, it actually has provided. Melter gun, storm bolters. Oh, it has... oh no. It's technically given... it says I've got missile launchers and last cannons, and it says I have heavy bolters and last cannon, so... okay, weird, weird, weird. What else have we got? Assault cannons, heavy bolter, plasma pistol... plasma pistols and storm bolters. This is stupid. Oh, yeah, the only guy with a melee weapon is you. So we will remove your power sword. With nothing... there we go. Right. So what else we got? Tech Marines, Flamers, and Storm Bolters. Librarians. See, it's for the Lexicanims, it defaults you back to chainsaws. It's very weird. Oh, and it gave these guys power swords too. It's just the Librarians it's given. That's bizarre. Right, Scouts, Sniper Rifle. Again, I had Sniper Rifles and Bolters listed when I was doing this, and it's re-equipped them all with chainswords. Weird question, how many bolters have we got? B for bolter. 20, well that's not enough to re-equip all of them. I guess we'll have to not go on that, but tactical marines, flamers, bolt pistols, assaulted heavy weapons, terminators. So yeah, an entirely ranged chapter, entire completely armed with ranged weaponry. This should be... The dual ranged weapons does do a negative effect to their ranged attack. Except for Terminators. That's bizarre. What about the guys with pistols and other primary weapons? The Devastators it doesn't affect. And Assault Marines that doesn't affect. So is it the two heavy ranged weapons? If we replace that with, say, a bolt pistol, if we buy a bunch of bolt pistols, right, and then we just say, I don't know, second company, go 1, 2, 3 squads, right? Let's say we ditch their flamers and replace them with bolt pistols. That does it. So it's dual two-handed melee ranged weapons does a negative effect on their ranged attack damage. Interesting. So an entirely ranged chapter, you'd have to have backup bolt pistols rather than bolters unless you were assault or devastator, in which case you're fine. So, interesting. We are operating on a bit of a handicap because of that negative thing. Also, I should have I did know already about that negative penalty. Why didn't I think of that when I was making this? Oh well. Right, attack. Let's just see how quickly they're shot to pieces, shall we? Instantly. Well, that's fun. Right, so and let's just orchestrate a minor bombing campaign and then launch a ranged attack just with everything we've got on hand, because I'm interested to see if Marines will use both weapons or not. So Stormbolters, that's first company. Missile launchers, those are the Dreadnoughts. Assault cannons are the Terminators. Librarians are getting pissed on, but that's fine. Accurate heavy bolter, that's the chaplain. Oh, yes, those are the captains, because I've given the captains heavy bolters. So shoots the crap out of them before they get to us, but that's not quite a impartial overview. So we should have a look-see at... Yeah. Right, so we need to have a more impartial look-see at ranged fighting versus ranged fighting. And we'll conclude this little test out by attacking some Tau in ranged combat, which will not end well, but that's the kind of the point of this. So attack everyone, excluding wounded. It's interesting how even though there's only 2 Dreadnoughts, they still tend to share a lot of the show. The Stormbolt has lash cannons, missile launchers, accurate bolters, missile launchers fire. Okay, they're within melee range, and then the flamers annihilate them. That's fascinating indeed, although they got closer than I thought they would. And that negative penalty to ranged attack might be the cause. Also, man, the librarians suck, don't they? Right. Interesting. Oh, for funsies. I mean, this will be an instant shoot them to death, but may as well. Yeah, the flamers just melt them to death. That would actually be fascinating. If you did something like they're losing because of the negative penalty. If you did something like, I'm seeing a ranged chapter like first company with, say, entirely Stormbolters, and then you have everyone else with bolters and bolt pistols. Then you do, say, Assault Marines with flamers and bolt pistols. And then Devastators with Devastator weapons. And then you mix in a few melter guns and sniper rifles and stuff throughout the field. I could see that being effective, because when they get in close, the flamers really barbecue them. But bolters especially seem to be doing the... and storm bolters seem to be doing a lot of the overall heavy range damage. So, it's kind of fascinating to have a look at it from that perspective. Let's see if the Imperial Navy can do it. They can! Well, good on them. Now... oh! Curious to see if that will work, or if because it's a Adeptus Sororitas stronghold. Yeah, I think because it's an Adeptus Sororitas stronghold, you can't clear the corruption from it. Yeah, that's interesting, and you can't actually clear the corruption from it. I guess you have to leave this as a battle to re-educate the population. So, let's go fight some Tau in a ranged weapon duel, because this is stupid. I'm not going to attack Extreme Tau, that's retarded, but we will bomb them. And then we will attack them. We shall attack them in a ranged weapon duel, because let's see how well this goes. Right. Oh, not bad. Again, 150 accurate storm bolters. XV8 battle suit. It's those guys attacking from... I just outrange duel Tau? I just outrange duel Tau. That is bloody bizarro logic. What is happening here? Sorry, I shouldn't actually be doing this. This is a throwaway playthrough. I shouldn't be worrying about that. However, the fact I won a ranged duel against Tau with negative penalties to my ranged attack is bizarro logic. Alright, this should be more fancy. Alright, let's see how well we do in a ranged duel like this. That's more what I was expecting. So I lost 60 Marines, yet I wiped them. Yet when we would play, if I was fighting against them with just that melee chapter earlier, I was getting more casualties and stomped. This is bizarro logic. Normally you'd expect raiding and a melee orientated chapter to beat Tau, but in this case my ranged chapter is outbeating Tau. And then, of course, raiding just blows them to bits. I have no idea anymore. So, conclusion. A melee-only chapter is possible but not ideal. A ranged-only chapter, it actually has serious merit if you build it right and you don't double up on two-handed ranged weapons. Also, couldn't you do... Boarding shields can be used with a two-handed weapon. So what you'd actually do for this chapter is you'd have all tactical marines, bolters and boarding shields. In fact, I'm going to set that up right now. I was going to end the video here, but I'm going to set that up. Rebalance this range chapter. And then give it another quick run through. Indulge me. Right. We are back. There was a slight delay. I made the chapter and then dinner came. So about an hour later than last time, but whatever. Right, so let's have a look and see if this new range chapter works. All storm bolters and boarding shields. Nice. The range attack 118%. Range attack 100%. Plasma pistols and boarding shields. Not bad. What about... Yep, that's not bad. Tactical assault marines with flamers. Devastators with mixed heavy weapons. Good, good. Oh, it does give them sniper rifles and boarding shields. This is fascinating. Alright. Librarians does default to melee weapons again. It's bizarre. This color scheme doesn't look too bad actually. With the shading. That's pretty good. Alright, Chapter Master himself. Heavy bolter. Popper carries. Plasma pistols and boarding shields. Alright, so let us test how well this does against a few threats. I would love to outshoot Tau. And there are Tau we can go play with. This is actually good because we can go kill Orcs, then Tyranids, and then Tau. And get a bit of a idea as to how this works. Right. Taking on Extreme is absolutely stupid. Never do it. And is why bombing exists. Okay, attack with moderate forces. Now let's see how well this does in terms of ranged fire. Not bad. Will they even get into close combat? Bit of a delay. Let's see what the... I was going to say, let's see what the flamers do. And the flamers barbecue them. Alright, we'll just raid with the first company, just to give an impression as to... Yeah, the flamers just open up on raiding. Fascinating. Right. Extreme, extreme. Damn, the sisters are still fighting on. Good on them. Nicely done. Right. For moderate, we'll do, again, nobody's wounded. That's nice. Attack. Alright, the flanking lictor. Alright, the Gene Stealers are getting killed by the Devastators. Bolt pistols go off. That's not bad. Alright, don't even have a chance for the flamers to go off. Interesting, interesting. Alright. And I guess we'll launch an attack just with first company members, just for a laugh. See how well we do here. Nah, the flanking lector gets eaten. So, range chapters will fire. Range chapters firepower is actually not too bad. Alright, we're going to try and bomb the... yeah, I had a feeling that would happen. Right, let's back up the sisters. Just because we can. And have a look. Assault cannons, yeah, the storm bolters seem to be going off really well. And then you watch as the bolt pistols kick in. Where are the regular... 180 bolt pistols. So that is... 620 storm bolters are first company, and the assault cannons are backing them up. 180 bolt pistols, devastators. Where are the... You shouldn't really attack anything above heavy anyway, but I'm curious on counts of how the firepower actually works. Greater Demon of Slanesh, that's lovely, but accurate storm bolters. Alright, flamers. They do alright. So we lost 7 marines were wounded. 1 Lexa cannon was destroyed. So the flamers seem to do pretty well at close. This is not a bad combination of firepower, really, if we're thinking about it, because how many are wounded? 4 psychers and about 20 marines. Yeah, going up against anything above heavy or heavy or above is stupid. But that was just fascinating anyway. Right. Launch a raid, just a moderate one. Let's have a look. Librarians suck. if we're learning anything from today. Right, so we will go fight some more orcs. And then what we should do is go off and fight some Tau. Ooh, actually, I don't know how much it will affect, actually. This should be another interesting little thought process experiment. It'll be interesting just to see if boarding, like what boarding can do for this sort of arrangement. However, I'm more interested in just seeing how this rapid firepower does, because boarding shields seem to be going quite well. Like this ranged approach. Yeah, I think predominantly like 2/3 range to 1/3 melee seems like the most optimal build for this sort of thing in my personal head at the moment. Right. What, 6 battleships? Really? Oh, screw it. This is a throwaway playthrough, but that's one of the things I really hate about the game. But anyway, after this we'll go fight the Tau. Those boarders really do a nice job, you must admit. I have lost every single, well, all but 2 of my escorts, but boarders do a pretty good job. Yeah. Who really cares anymore? Right. If this was the Lamenter's Redemption, or even just one of my regular playthroughs, that would make me psychotic, because 6 battleships spawning out of nowhere is bullshit tier garbage. But in this case, we'll just cut them down. And then we will bugger off to go fight Tau for the final finale. Oh, fuck you, game. Because I was bad-mouthing you, you decide to do that to me. Well, fuck you. Every time you do that, I'm going to keep bad-mouthing you. So, Chapter Master, go fuck yourself. Right, there we go. Now, moderate attack. Everyone. Let's see how well this does. Firepower versus firepower. Not bad. Stormbolters, ooh, their missile pods and stuff do a bit of a good job. There's the 400 accurate bolters. I was wondering about that. Flamers do good job. So I only lost 1 Devastator with 30 Maru wounded. That's pretty decent. Now, a raid with the same level of force. And the Flamers just barbecue them. That's fascinating indeed. Alright, Tiny. Let's just launch with first company, or first 3 companies. Again, they just get pulverized. Light company got eaten. Are a few casualties and definitely woundings. Assault Marines with the Flamers do take a bit of brunt when they get in close. Terminator armor and decent weaponry seem to save some of them. Stormbolters seem to be good. See, because I've added bolter drilling to this, it's 46 dam melee. Yeah, 46 dam, 15 ammo, 116 range damage. Assault cannons, 170 dam, 103 ranged attack. See, Stormbolters is where it's at. Because you... yeah, because you're doing 69 dam instead of 46 dam. You do have less ammo. And you do have less range, but that's not a huge amount. And with 118 ranged attack, because of the Mark 6, like that ranged attack bonus because of Mark 6 and the extra experience, really does a bit of a good job. On that note, that's 5% range, that's 10% ranged. The 10% range, interesting. Interesting. Anyway, so that's not too bad. So doing a purely range focused chapter, if you build it correctly from the starting chapter, building screen, can actually be moderately effective. It's just a case of balance. So, that was fun. This was kind of a test video for me. Give me something more optimistic than watching the Lamenters get slaughtered by the game's bullshit RNG. So, cheerio for indulging my efforts, and I will catch you again another time.